Warning: explicit content, sex, faith, and happiness in a wheelchair. A letter to all the haters, bashers, and life-sucking negative Nancys. There's been a weight on my heart for some time now, not because of the pressure from haters or offensive words, because Jesus told us ahead of time that we would be persecuted. For even in 1 Peter 4:14, we are reminded, if you are insulted because of the name of Christ, you are blessed, for the Spirit of glory and of God rests upon you. However, my heart hurts for those who live similar lives as us, who do face depression, who cannot speak for themselves, and who do not have the platform to voice their thoughts. For that reason, we will not be silent. I refuse to let another ignorant person claim that a person with a disability, whether it's seen or unseen, great or small, is less of a person. I've heard it all the assumptions and nasty remarks, that I must have a bag of vibrators, I have to be getting action on the side, that Joel is a vegetable and I am taking advantage of him, that I'm in it for the life insurance, that Joel cannot communicate and speak for himself, that he doesn't know me, that we couldn't possibly be happy, that we aren't real, that I rape him, that he has nothing to offer me. Actually, I find it quite humorous, because these are so off that it's insane and insulting to what little intelligence you have about anyone outside your own life. But my heart doesn't hurt for me. It doesn't hurt for Joel. It hurts because there are people out there who simply feel overlooked and isolated in a world that runs laps around us. There are people who do get easily offended, who cannot speak up for themselves. Guess what? We can have sex. Great sex at that. We do have sex. Yes, real husband and wife intercourse, love making, nookie, whoopee, whatever you want to call sex. And we are actually praying for and trying to conceive a child naturally as we speak. Ha! Mind-blowing, right? Just because you're paralyzed doesn't mean that you do not have feeling or that you cannot have intercourse. Now, I cannot speak for all disabled people, but for us, Joel's wheelchair doesn't discount us. So instead of assuming that we cannot have sex, just ask. We're open and honest as they come. Many of you also pass judgment assuming that Joel cannot communicate just because he cannot vocalize things. Wrong again. He has a hole in his throat, and if you had a hole in your throat that wouldn't close because you had a tube in it for 5.5 years, it might be a little hard for you to project a voice too. And just because he cannot vocalize does not mean that he is trapped in his mind or that he doesn't think for himself. There is none, not an ounce, of cognitive brain damage. Ask anyone that knows him, or ask him yourself. He'll play fantasy football and beat you. He uses Facebook just like you and I, with the help of a computer and an eye gaze device. Yes, just like Stephen Hawking. He and I make decisions together, but he's the man of the house. To assume that, because someone cannot speak, is again insulting to you. We also communicate through his eyes, a language that is precious and remarkable, something you just have to witness in person to believe. To assume that we aren't happy, or that we couldn't possibly have a life worth living, that's humorous too. We've been told by our family and friends, on several accounts, that we're the happiest couple they've ever known. We laugh together constantly, and refuse to go to bed angry. And we spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together. How many of you even want to be around one person for that long? We enjoy going to the movies, exploring new places, going on trips back to our hometown to see family, and trying new recipes out on our grill. We have to get creative when it comes to life. It may not be easy, but neither of us would trade it for our old lives or for yours. We just purchased our first home together. We pursue our dreams hand in hand. I did not leave behind my dreams and my goals because I married Joel, but we put our minds together and figured out how to make them happen despite our challenges. You are blessed because you believe that the Lord would do what he said, Luke 1:45. So, next time you see a person with a disability, just stop. Don't feel pity for them. Don't push them aside. Don't discount them for unhappy or unable to do things, or brainless, less than human. Simply get to know them and find out things for yourself. Don't assume. You might just learn something. We wouldn't wish our lives on anyone, because this life of being disabled is not for the faint of heart. Not just anyone could do it. We know that. But we do not get our strength from our minds or our bodies. We find our strength in Jesus. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weakness, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I'm weak, I'm made strong. 2 Corinthians 12:10. We have so much to offer. If only you were to ask, what are you waiting for? Jackson. Wholeheartedly, the wife of the man who finally gave me my first dance. Lauren Jackson.
Hello, my name is Joel Jackson II, and this will only take a minute of your time. For the people that know me, know this is true. I have a wonderful life, am not depressed, don't need any help with keeping my wife satisfied, and although I am disabled by the doctor's perspective, I don't look at myself as, basically I love my life and wouldn't change anything about it. God doesn't make mistakes. I am living testimony of that. I am taking advantage of the second chance in life that He provided.